The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land. And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries and branch lines that make up the world-renowned Northwestern Railway. These are the stories of Sodor. As strange as this may sound, the one redeeming quality I can say about Arthur's ghost is that he wasn't violent. When I think about it, all he really did was give us a good scare. Granted, a woman was driven mad when she dared to look inside his coaches, but I think that was more bad luck than anything else. If he intended to cause havoc, I think he would have. My point is that his haunting was nowhere near as devastating as Dominic's was. That spiteful brakevan not only murdered an innocent man and broke the mind of another, he also caused a horrific accident that saw Peter laid up at Crewe for 6 months. As I said last time, Mr. Zorro needed a replacement goods engine, and he found one, whom Henry and I would have the displeasure of meeting when he returned to Sodor.
So I hear France and Germany have signed a non-attack treaty. I don't mind telling you, that's really put my mind at ease.
You, me and the rest of the nation, old chap.
You think this means war might be averted entirely?
That might be a bit premature. After all, we can't ignore the hardline policies of the Nazis, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
Who's that?
Oh no.
What?
I know that whistle.
Ah, Edward, Henry, hello. Good to see you both again.
Oh, cinders and ashes. Don't tell me you're filling in for Peter, Geoffrey.
Yes, I am. And I'm delighted to be back on Sodor. Well, you'll be the only one. Don't expect a warm welcome from us or your own crew. I am not. Their contempt, and yours, is well earned.
So, you acknowledge what you did?
Of course. I'd be a fool if I didn't. In fact, I am glad that I found you so early on, Henry. I want to apologize for what I did to you during my last visit. It was a despicable action, one I take full responsibility for. Alright. I wasn't expecting that, nor did I expect to give this apology so soon. I hope you'll accept it, but if you don't, I fully understand. Anyway, I best get moving. I have many more apologies to make while I am here. So, what do you think?
I'm not sure. It does seem like a rapid turnaround.
Aye. Then again, I heard he got 30 days at Railgate. I'm sure that gives an engine ample time to think.
Long enough to change an engine entirely?
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
So, what are we doing here, Diesel?
For the 8th time, Colin. I don't know. The station master said he got a call from Mr. Zorro telling us to wait here, so we're waiting. It better be important. There's work that needs doing, and without Peter, we're going to have a hard time of it. Too right, Colleen.
You think maybe it's about Peter?
What did I just say about not knowing anything?
So I finally got you to admit it.
Wait, what? Did you just...
Grrr!
I swear, you two are worse than... What's wrong?
Up ahead!
Hello, everyone. How delightful to see you all again. Geoffrey? No need to be alarmed, Diesel. I'm not here for revenge. You'll understand if we don't believe that. Yes, I do. Why are you here? Mr. Zorro told me what happened to Peter. So he got you to do his job? Is he off his nut or something? No, he isn't. Oh, just my luck. Yes, just your luck you questioned your boss's judgment while he was within earshot. Not that your opinion matters in this case, Diesel. But sir, I thought the coppers sent him inside. They did. He served his time, and I've brought him in because we'll need the help. I had thought you would appreciate the assistance of another engine. Sir, with respect, don't you remember what this one did? Of course I do. I'm not trying to deny it. And given what he said to Henry at Vickerstown just now, neither is he. What he said to Henry, he apologized for his actions. And I trust he can do it again. Indeed, sir. Diesel, Colleen, I am dreadfully sorry for involving you in my disgraceful scheme to sabotage the Nor'easters. I especially apologize to you, Colleen, for threatening you with retaliation. I want to assure you I have no such intent now. That's a relief to hear. And I guess I could have said no when you told me what you planned to do. And it's not like I haven't done stupid things on my own. Does that mean you can forgive me? I don't see why not. Me neither. We're all middies here. Oh, thank you so much. You Sudrians are the best lot in Britain. So right. Yes, we're all friends again, and all is right with the world. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Now, if we're done faffing about, it's time to get to work on the double. Winter is coming.
Despite his melodrama, the Middies director was right. The date of Geoffrey's return was December 7th, 1938. Typically, the snow started to fall over Sodor around the middle of the month, and every year, the island's various industries and businesses would go into a tizzy as they tried desperately to get their goods out before the weather could shut them down. We always hated this time, as we would be worked off our wheels, as we would be rendered tired and irritable from these frenzied jobs. Thomas would have a particularly hard time of it this year, and I don't just mean because he had to largely clear the Enofa quarry of its remaining stone.
Hoo! Hoo! Bust my buffers! I'm knackered!
I'm sorry to hear that, Thomas.
Aren't you tired? Even just a little bit?
No, I can do this all day.
How do you manage that, Clive? Being able to work for so long and so hard.
Gumption and commitment.
That's it?
That's it. That's all an engine needs to have a long, fulfilling career. It's such a pity those qualities are sorely lacking in today's youth.
Oi!
Present company accepted. But this generation certainly is growing up soft.
Are you going to tell us another story about life back before the light bulb?
Do you want to hear one?
If I had an extra 10 hours to spare, maybe.
Get on out of here, you young whippersnapper. Those trucks won't deliver themselves.
Okay, I'll pop on down to the harbour and be right back.
See you soon, Thomas.
right. So, that happened. Thomas, are you okay? I'm fine. You? We're all good here. Blimey, what happened? There was a leaking barrel of oil next to the track. What? Who'd be daft enough to put a leaky barrel there? Probably the same twit who switched the points to this blooming line. Someone's going to answer for this. You can be sure of that. I hope so. Bust my buffers. The day started out so well too.
As always, Mickey was swift to respond and fish Thomas out of the water. He was thoroughly examined on site, and thankfully, he hadn't suffered any serious damage. This examination also turned up a toad idling about inside his cab. We all had a good laugh about it, but it didn't last. Joey had also responded quickly and had conducted a preliminary investigation into the incident. To Thomas, Percy and I, he relayed his disturbing findings. First, that the points had been tampered with to send our number one down the wrong line. Second, the barrel had been punctured so that the oil would drain all over the track. And third, said barrel had come from a shipment that James had delivered to the Mid-Sodor Railway. All right, James, so run through the events as they happened when you delivered that shipment. It was Monday, around 11:30 when I arrived. It took about half an hour for the workmen to unload my train. After that, I left for the dairy at Tidmouth. And you were the one who collected those barrels, Stuart? Yes, Inspector. Did anything unusual happen that day? Fights? Accidents? Anything of that nature? No, nothing. Did either of you notice anyone lingering around the yard? Someone who didn't belong? No. No. The manifest says you delivered those barrels to King Ori's Bridge, Stuart. Did anything happen up there? No. Nothing. I see. I'm sorry I couldn't be more helpful, Inspector. Me neither. Don't worry, lads. You can't tell me what you don't know. Will you be heading to King Ori's Bridge any time today, Stuart? Yes. This train, as a matter of fact, is heading there. Perfect. These constables will ride along with you. They'll poke around the town and maybe find us a lead. I have a lead for you, Inspector, and its name is Geoffrey. As much as I hate to say it, James, I don't think he could be behind such an elaborate scheme when he's only just returned to Sodor. However, a good detective never assumes, and I will question him about this. You better get moving, Stuart. Sabotage is a serious crime that requires a swift investigation. Yes, Inspector. I'm on my way. Oi, Stuart! Why are there coppers on your train? Perhaps he's decided to turn you in, Falcon. Shut up, Andreas. But seriously, why are they here? It's because of that accident Thomas had near Farquhar. Turns out one of those barrels I delivered here the other day was used to make it happen. Really? That's alarming. Tell me about it. Do either of you know anything that could help? Sorry, I don't. Nor do I. A rare thing indeed that I should be ignorant about something. That's probably for the best, Andreas. Why? Because if you'd had an idea that led to an arrest, we'd never hear the end of it. Oh, why do I put up with you two?
Oh my. What a horrible turn of events that this should happen to me. I'm fine, by the way, in case you're wondering. Of course, Murray. I am relieved to hear it. I will be equally relieved when I discover the name of the prat who switched the points to that blasted siding. First things first, we need to get this whole ordeal sorted. Indeed. Do I dare suppose that the lucky lamp is on the fritz?
In some ways, I would have to say no. After all, it can only be described as incredibly lucky that nobody was seriously hurt. The recovery operation also went very well, as did Andreas's subsequent repairs. An investigation into the accident was undertaken, and sure enough, the cause was determined to be another set of sabotaged points. This led the police to issue a warning to all engines to keep their eyes open for any suspicious activity about the trackside. Points were randomly checked and the authorities conducted sweeps of the line. But I'm sorry to say that despite their efforts and ours, it wouldn't be enough. It was early one morning a week later when it happened. By then, Sodor was covered in snow and its various industries were forced to shut down for the season. However, this year, the ice wouldn't be so thick upon the island's waterways, so shipping wasn't overly affected. At Knapford Harbour, the workers were taking full advantage of this. A large shipment of fish had come in. Some was delivered to nearby towns and shops by lorry, but most of it was loaded aboard a special train the railwaymen had long called the Flying Kipper. It had always been Henry's job to take the kipper to the mainland because he had such an excellent record pulling it. That would change with this run.
All right, off we go!
I know it's a stupid question, Henry, but are you all right?
I've been better, sir. I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm mighty confused. What was a train doing parked on the main line?
The back half of a goods train being pulled by Donald broke away. He alerted the next signal box he passed, and the signalman there contacted his peer at Kildane.
But the signal was down, sir.
I think it's a safe bet the saboteur has struck again. And now he's graduated to murder.
Murder? My crew?
No, they jumped clear. Apart from a couple of broken bones, they're fine.
There was a guard on that brake van I crashed into, wasn't there?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Henry, I'm ordering you not to blame yourself. Nobody does, and nobody will. Our contempt is reserved for the mongrel behind this catastrophe, and I'm heading back to Kildane right now to see exactly what he did. What do you mean, nothing? With respect, sir, I don't know how much clearer I can be. This wasn't sabotage. Are you absolutely sure? Positive, sir. Ice and snow forced the signal down. There's really nothing criminal here. It was just extremely bad luck. That's a profound understatement. I honestly don't know if that makes the situation better or worse. I also don't know how many people are going to accept this. Indeed, very few people on Sodor could accept it. It just didn't seem plausible that a legitimate accident could happen hot on the heels of two connected acts of sabotage. The papers lapped it up, practically reveling in the fact that someone had been killed. And in one of life's little ironies, the media's sensationalism is what ended this ordeal. Among the made to believe the saboteur had become a murderer was his mistress, who turned him in to the police. When Mr. Starr informed us of this arrest, our relief was tempered by shock as it was revealed the man was a very dishevelled Jacob Burke, as in Burke and Blair. If you remember from a previous story of mine, this obnoxious busybody from the LNER's head office had an affair while on Sodor. The fallout from this scandal lost him his wife and his job. He blamed the island for his downfall and wanted revenge. Returning to the embrace of his lover, he set about enacting it. As a former signalman, he knew how to sabotage the points, and from the garage his lover worked at, he procured a barrel of petrol. For his actions, he was sentenced to life in prison, while his mistress was given 15 years for harbouring him. While we were satisfied with the results, we couldn't help but realise the fact it wasn't going to undo the damage that had been done. But then, I suppose it was far better for justice to be done than not at all.